boys and girls, children of all appropriate ages for Magic the Gathering, whatever that age may be. Welcome to Friday Morning Magic, the most fun you can have on the entire internet on this channel at this very moment. I'm excited for this one. Let's do some audio checks. Let's make sure we are popping. We are ready to go. This is a big day. I did not see today coming. I did not see today coming. I've got a lot to talk about. I got a lot to hear from you guys this morning. And frankly, this is just my favorite way in the entire known universe to start my freaking Friday. Good morning to everyone out there. If you're in the chat right now, if you are here, let me know. I got to hear from you. I got to know that you're here so that we can have some fun conversations about everything that's going on in Magic the Gathering. And not often, I will say, not often does Magic the Gathering make a pivot or just like a massive move. The community's so big, it's a major ship. We've had all these conversations a million times before. But Doctor Who's kind of popping off though, right? like Doctor Who's kind of popping off though, right? Guys, Doctor Who's kind of popping off. So we got a lot to talk about with that. For any OGs, I have some sales data for Bright Lights. It's officially released today. We'll spend a couple minutes going over that later in the stream. So we'll talk about that. But we have Doctor Who sales data to discuss. We have to discuss what that means for this set. And is Universes Beyond doing what it's meant to do, right? Like Universes Beyond, so far, not half bad. Not half bad. Yoko, good morning. Yoko and Thrifty PS Reviews were in this chat so early. Massive, major shoutouts as we do some mic checks here. Keith Foster, LGS owner, I loved the email. I wasn't sure of the context. Is that just, let me know, is that just what you're being allocated? Is that what you're getting? And let me know what of that I'm willing to share, what I have to hide. I saw it briefly last night as I got home, but thank you for the info. Always love the info. And if anyone else wants to reach out to me, email me themselves. You can reach me at hometowntcg@gmail.com, or you can find me on the channel as I try to reply to every single comment. But you guys are awesome. Like, you guys crush the comment section. It's getting difficult recently. Rob, boom, good morning. Thank you so much for hanging out, Rob. Good to see you again. God, I love that I get to do that every morning. Grasshopper, OG, let's go, Grasshopper. Style 06 is here for the Who. You know we're going to talk about it, baby. Zendra's really, I knew Friday was coming all week. Yeah, I think so. I think you knew Friday was coming all week. Niran, morning. Rudy only getting 400 boxes is crazy. We're definitely going to talk about that. Niran, welcome to the show. Niran, I think you were the first channel member. You were when the channel memberships opened a couple weeks ago, you were the first. It was, I think, last month. You were the first. So shout out to the first channel member. If any of you want to join Niran, you can visit that link that's at the top of the screen. It's $5 a month. You get access to bonus content when I remember not to post it publicly. We'll talk about that in a second. Drop the ball there. But then you also get access to all of my sales data and any other channel member posts. Plus, it helps build the new streaming setup for the channel. So be sure to consider joining the channel membership. That was a rough day yesterday. Yesterday, I made a channel member only video because I try to give the channel bonus content, right? I try to reach out and like, hey, these are some of my thoughts behind the scenes, some of the stuff. And I had shot a channel member video, and in the craziness of work, parenting, life, I made it public when I publicized it, and I was like, great. So I asked the channel members, and shout out to all the channel members that voted. They voted to just keep it public and let it be shareable with everybody and let everybody experience that video. So big shout out to them. It's a very nice and welcoming community, I gotta say. Nice wrench you got there, buddy. What wrench? What wrench do I have? I don't think I have a wrench. I don't think I have a wrench down here. I don't think I've needed one for some time down here. I've already built everything. Xanders literally loves the sales data. It gets him going. Listen, I love comparing these sets against one another. We don't get a big enough view of all Magic sales because they are so spread out. But man, oh man, it is fun to compare them against one another. Niren and Dennis have one. Dennis, are we talking OG Dennis? Oh, Dennis Kuhn is here. Let's go. Oh my God, I missed him. Dennis has been featured on the channel. Dennis Kuhn is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Dennis. Good freaking morning. I know that you're only here for the bright light sales data, Dennis, but it makes me happy that you're here. I love you, buddy. Dennis might be one of my favorite people in the entire world, and I think that says more about me than it does about Dennis. That says more about me than it does about him. Yes, the wrenches. Now I get it. I was so confused about the wrench. I recently did, because I said the channel membership's going to build the new streaming setup, so I've been doing some moving stuff in the office and trying to reorganize, getting ready for that, and I thought that there was a wrench somewhere in the background. I will point out, one of my more recent purchases came in. You can listen to this on the drive to work. I'm so sorry, Dennis. I'm so sorry. I wish you had something better to do. One of my more recent purchases came in. I did get a Beckett Well of Lost Dreams coming in. It's a 9. It's a decent little card, but I got it for real cool, or real cheap, in my opinion. I did not pay a lot for it, so I'm super proud to keep adding to the shelf. But without further ado, let's talk kind of about what's been going on overnight. And the question is either Rudy made a video, so it happened, or it happened and then Rudy made a video. I attest that it happened and then Rudy made a video based on the disheveled nature of Rudy's video. Rudy's video looked a lot like I look in videos, which is not a compliment on that one, but you know. And we had some news about Doctor Who and the Next Universes Beyond project and the Doctor Who Commander stuff. And so I had to plan this morning to get up extra early to go through and update the sales data. And it does seem that Doctor Who has kind of gone a little bit to the moon, seemingly overnight. Let's take a look at Doctor Who, where it's sitting in prices, and then let's look at some of the sales data. So let's go pop on over. Oh, whoa. Why is chat in front of my face? This is not my Batman cup. What is this? Why is chat, why are you in my face? Why are you in my face, chat? What's up with that? Let's get the proper window pulled up here. Let's go to TCG Player and let's check out the prices of some of this Doctor Who insanity going on. Yes, I looked like I had text. It looks like my content creator character had text. Oh, we forgot to do this. Hold on, we forgot to do this. And I'm so glad Nick is here right now because we forgot to do this. Cheers to everybody. Nick said my penance for posting the video in the wrong spot was a small coffee today. I want to tell you, I will do almost anything for my channel members, but I will never drink a small amount of coffee. I apologize. For subscribers, for viewers, I would do so much for subscribers, for viewers, for members. However you're on the channel, I would do so much for you. But guess what? There is no chance I'm drinking a small coffee. Love you, buddy, but it's not happening. Back to the matter at hand. It's time to talk about the Whovian success, the blast from the past, the timey-wimey craziness that's going on with Doctor Who. So we headed over to TCG Player as probably the most open and notable marketplace for trading card games, and we want to check what's happening with this set, and it starts with the product that seemingly is in the middle of a skyrocket. In the middle of a rocket ship to the moon. This thing has jumped on to one of NASA's shuttles and is blasting off. And okay, I'm clearly being hyperbolic, but price on this has increased over $60 overnight. By the way, if this is, and I don't know, if this sales listing is a sales listing for Rip and Chip, also known as Rip and Chip by Moonshot, amazing box opening YouTube channel and store. Shout out to them. So if this is them, big shout out. If not, I don't know that person, so I'm not going to shout them out. But it's not just a flash in the pan either. If we take a look, almost all of the listings, there are only 19 listings for a Magic the Gathering set, and all of those listings are hovering around similar pricing. On the first page, we have roughly $5 to $6 in price discrepancy. So listen, the Magic the Gathering thing is happening. Spoiler alert, it is happening. It's taking, that little bit of race to the bottom, but people aren't willing to undercut each other by very much on this set, and it is looking good. we'll get to the sales data in a second, but it is selling like hotcakes. But it's not just the collector booster display. The collector booster display is an important one. I'll tell you, it's one of the most important ones. But the product, the deck set, this product, when we go over the sales data, you'll note, is selling in such high numbers. And like when you compare, you kind of got 5 products here in Doctor Who, and you compare the collector booster box with the 4 individual decks, and I guess 6 products if you count the deck sets themselves as their own standalone product. But when you look at something like this, we live in a world where you can get like 1 collector booster box, and this is not the venue to complain about the price of the collector booster box. I have no interest in doing that here. We've had that conversation and argument over and over again. But if you're just someone like me and you're at the game store and you want to buy one of these products, and you're going to look at these 2 boxes, you're going to look and you're going to say, I get decks for me and all my friends, each of which has 40 functionally unique cards. I can buy this product off the shelf, sleeve it up, and I can go home and I can play Magic in the way that I want to. Massive win. And I can do that for the same price as the other product on the shelf. Now, conversely, if you're someone that's like, listen, I'm all about serialized cards. I love collecting Magic the Gathering. Like, I like Doctor Who. I might buy myself a deck, but I want to add some of these powerful cards to my Commander decks. That collector booster box at a similar price point to that deck case is going to start to look enticing. It's going to be like, this might be, I might want to take my shot at this. And then you expand that a bit further to a consumer that doesn't come into the game store with $200 to $300 in their pocket. And listen, some of these decks under $50. You can pick these things up for under $50. Like, listen, I know MinMax is going to sell these and probably sell out of them on day one, if not close to day one. Like, they always sell out all other stuff, but the fact that you could go into that store and be like, I got $50 in my pocket, I want to have a good time with my friends, I can make it happen. This product is a win. It caps at a premium price, which most Magic products do these days, but it's got an entry point for other people just looking to engage with the product in some way. There's no Commander Masters shenanigans going on here, where the cheapest way to experience Commander Masters was, $250 or whatever it is. Like, there's a lot of good going on with this product. Now, that being said, it is Universes Beyond, so it's probably going to catch some people off guard. Let's see. Nick is hurt. Sorry, Nick. Like, listen, man, I need my coffee. Zendra says, I need that 12 showcase. Let's see if we can find the 12th Doctor here. The 5th Doctor, Missy. The 12th Doctor, the showcase. Let's see. I mean, this is pretty good art. Like, I've said over and over that I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan. Like, it's never been something that spoke to me at any kind of emotional level. But this is good. I like this. If you're gonna do a Universes Beyond, this is the right way to do it. They didn't take Doctor Who and try to make it look like Magic. They put Doctor Who on Magic, like 100% here. They did not. There's no style. Even the regular cards, the non-showcase one, it feels like they took Doctor Who and made it look like Magic. I have this take. So I do a podcast every Friday morning. It's called May the Zoo Be With You. If you're here and you don't know about that podcast, you should check it out. It's on Kitchen Table TCG. We'll wrap up the Friday Morning Magic live stream by watching the intro and kind of talking about what we discuss in that podcast. And I'll give you guys a link. So if you stick around to the end, you'll get something like that. But I said in that podcast, I felt like something I liked about the Doctor Who spoilers that I had seen. And tell me if you can follow me. I want you to try to follow me on this one, and I want to know if I'm crazy or if you feel me. The Doctor Who cards, even the regular ones, feel like they took an episode of Doctor Who playing on an older television, and they took like scenes directly out of that episode and put them on the card in such a way that it feels like I'm staring into an older television on the frame of the card. And I don't know if that makes sense, if you guys are hearing what I'm saying, but that's just like the feel, the vibe that I get when I look at cards like this. And I think that's really neat. And I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if that's just some of my preconceived notions about Doctor Who coming into play and skewing how I'm looking at the stuff. But I really feel like that's the way I really feel about almost every single regular card that I have seen. But let's catch up with you guys in chat. Good morning, everyone. Zenda says you need that self showcase. Ralph says a small coffee is not penance, it's torture. Yes, like listen, again, I will do a lot for the people who support and watch and comment and all that stuff on this channel. I will not drink a smaller coffee. That is not happening. I think it would be interesting to compare Doctor Who's sales data against Warhammer. I wish I had Warhammer sales data. So the problem with TCG Player, for those who don't know, if you're new joining the stream, problem with TCG Player is the sales data falls off after 120 days. So I have to make sure I capture that information stored in my own databases, right? And hold on to that so we can see how sales trends change over time. That's why this is such a massive project. You know what I'm most excited for? I am most excited for at the end of the year, I can talk about how many Magic products we have tracked right here on this channel. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yoko says this set is not going to the moon. It's going to Galefrey. Oh no, if you're making Doctor Who references, I'm dropping the ball. Duran's price is still at $240 USD up here in Canada. We have a couple Canadian viewers, and shout out for always checking us out every week. A couple Canadian members of our community constantly pointing out like, hey, these are the price differences, and sometimes it's way higher, sometimes it's way lower. It's just wild how much different the Magic economy is in different parts of the world. That always blows my mind. Ralph's not falling for Rudy's pump. Let's go. I think it'd be interesting to compare Doctor Who sales. Oh, I already read that. Rob, listen, I like your comment so much. I read it twice. Grasshopper. Nick said, I'm not buying that they cut the print run. They held it back. They're luring stores into upping orders on the next set thinking it's a permanent change. There just isn't incentive for them to cut the print runs. Now, I would disagree with you. And here's why. And we're going to keep going on this, but here's why I disagree with that. There is incentive to cut the print runs, because even in this scenario where Wizards of the Coast has to, and maybe it's Wizards of the Coast Direct, maybe it's not, like I'm still unsure how that works, dump product to us on Amazon. And when they do that, like, yeah, they get money back onto their books. That's fine. But you better believe that that has an impact on the sales of Magic the Gathering, and it also has an impact on how stores in mass order product from distribution. Like, listen, it's safe to say at this point that people's Magic the Gathering orders have changed drastically over the last 2 years. And that doesn't mean that they're ordering no Magic the Gathering, and that's not how that's working, but they used to order it in droves, and you could feel comfortable just putting it in your back room, and then eventually it would sell. Game stores and hobby shops, which are Wizards of the Coast primary retailers, like whether they like them or not, we can have that argument all you want, they are the primary retailers and the primary means of distribution to our community of Magic the Gathering. And with that being said, when that model shows less interest, the company as a whole is going to take note, right? Now, they still make all that same money because they sell the products to distribution, but they would be fools to think that that does not trickle to them at some point, right? So as much as the secondary market price of some of these products don't matter to them, the popularity of their game and people's willingness to spend their money on the product absolutely do. And if printing a couple less boxes here and there on sprinkled in sets throughout the year can add, even if it's a temporary, confidence to their community, I think that's beneficial. So I disagree with the fact that there's no incentive for them to do it, right? I think they tried the print a million of everything, and regardless of how popular it is, too bad, the community will absorb it, and it didn't take. So I'm all for saying that they're trying to squeeze every dollar out of us. I'm not for saying that they're dumb. I can't get behind the notion that they're dumb. That's just not something, Nick. That's just how I feel, Nick. You know what I'm saying? I won't jump in until management at Ousters or WotC is spun off. Like, listen, every time I react to a Rudy video, I think, man, if he becomes the CEO of WotC, this video is gonna do a lot better than it does right now. That's for sure. Grasshopper says, Josh, do you know that TARDIS is an acronym? I do not know. I do not know the TARDIS. What's a TARDIS an acronym for? Matthew, very engaging enthusiast, Matthew. You got to use all of the buzzwords. Devin My Chan, one of the OGs. Good freaking morning. Yoko says this set is so on point. Yoko, like, listen, I think this is a good Universes Beyond set. We got some sales data to talk about. I want to catch up with chat here. Okay, but what about the small coffee? Chase. I could use the small coffee as a chaser for my big coffee, but as it sits, hold on. I use the Celsius as the chaser to my coffee. Because now having a 1-year-old making all this fun content, hanging out with you guys as much as I can, and then working a full-time job, there's not enough caffeine in the known universe. There's not enough caffeine in the Whoniverse. Which, by the way, does Doctor Who have a Whoniverse? Chat, if Doctor Who doesn't have a Whoniverse, can it? Can we coin that phrase right now? The Whoniverse? Can we do that? I know we're not a Who channel, but like, can we do it? Come on. I'm before sales data. Oh no, there is a Whoniverse. No. Grasshopper thought I was popping a White Claw. No, I'm not. It's not that kind. It's not that kind of morning. It is, however, a sales data morning, and you guys know me. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. We'll talk about that in a second. You guys know me. I love some sales data. Style says there already is a Whoniverse. Man. You know what? It's YouTube. We coined it. We did it right here. It's the internet. What I say doesn't have to be true. It's the internet. Like, listen, I try to stick to the facts and the numbers. Look, I actually compile data before I give you takes. I do my best. But listen, it is the internet at some point, right? So we're just going to be like, no, we made it up. We're just going to blatantly lie. We made it up right here. Hometown TCG. You heard it here first. Let's take a look at the sales data for this Magic the Gathering release. Let's pull this up. Let's see if we can expand this a little bit. And the sales have gone up. Now we see this got a release date of October 13th. So again, we're still in pre-release, and from everything that we have tracked, and if you've been around here for a while, you know, and if you haven't, make sure you hit the sub button so you can join the chat. I have it set to subs only for the chat because that's how I try to lure you in. Like, I make no secret about it. I am trying to grow the channel. That is how I'm trying to lure you in to join the channel subscribers. But the release date of October 13th indicates that we have what might be the biggest week of sales left to go. Lil Pawn says, bye, you missed the $1 million. No. I love the meme, though. But we have the biggest week of sales to go yet. Generally, the last week of pre-sales of any Magic product are the biggest week. It's when hype builds the most, is when people finally, who have been putting off pre-ordering for some time, finally give in and are like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to get some boxes. But something that's interesting we see here, we see a larger number of boxes sold than usual, even despite the fewer number of SKUs, right? We have less products to buy. We got the collector booster box, we got the 4 commander decks, and then we got the commander deck bundle. Like, those are the different SKUs that we're tracking. And despite that, we're seeing a greater number of products sold. But I want to just point you guys in the direction of this total spend. Now, if you can't see this because it's a little small, it is down to it's under $500,000. So $500,000 of our hard-earned dollars has flowed through TCG Player with the theme or the idea of purchasing Doctor Who products. And this is lower than a lot of previous sets. And that's not a bad thing. This, to me, is a really cool indicator. I love the fact that we are buying more boxes and spending less money doing so. Like, that may change now that prices have gone up a little bit. And we made a lot of jokes early in the stream about going to the moon, and this is a $1 million TCG box. Yes, we made a lot of jokes. Prices have gone up. This is not the next most collectible product you will ever see. Remember, hold on. Do not forget, #never forget, even these came down in value. Even these products right here came down in value. And shout out to George from the May the Zoo Be With You podcast for sending me these as a gift during our mystery box opening. That was a super fun stream. So when we talk about this, keep that in mind, right? We're not indicating this is the next $1 million TCG product, but I think it is cool that we are getting more for less here. Now, the breakdown of the products is super interesting. Looking at that top pie chart, check out that top pie chart up there. Just bonkers. That top pie chart is insane. When it comes to buying this product, 90% of every box that flows out of TCG Player is a commander deck. It's all about the commander decks, ladies and gentlemen. Like, frankly, it's not even close. The gap here is massive. We are all about the commander decks 100% of the time. When it comes to the breakdown of those commander decks, the gap was pretty wide. At first, it was all timey-wimey, some Masters of Evil, and then moving into lower numbers for Blast from the Past and Paradox Power. It's kind of evened out a little bit. They've come down a couple percentage points. The last two decks have picked up a percentage point here or there. But all in all, the first two, Timey-Wimey and Masters of Evil, which, by the way, every time I say Timey-Wimey into a microphone, I feel a little bit like, am I really saying this? This is really happening right now? So, Yoko? Not funny. We're doing mom jokes. We're doing mom jokes on stream. We're doing mom jokes on stream now, Yoko. That's what we're doing. We're doing mom jokes on stream. So it's interesting to see the kind of that breakdown. I think we do see a lot of similarities to this in Commander Masters with the popularity of the decks and how those sales are shaping up. I really enjoy the fact that the Commander decks are so affordable, and it's an opportunity to, like, hey, when you buy this thing, you get 40 brand new cards, guaranteed, out of the box. Don't have to chase anything, done. You get 40 brand new cards, and guess what? You get to sit down and play Magic. Like, that's a massive win. But here is where things get interesting. I might have to change the scale here really quick as we swap over. This right here. This right here is where things get interesting. What am I getting notifications for? Oh, guys, you guys are popping off in the comment section on regular YouTube videos. I'm getting blown up. This is where things get a bit crazy. As we head into the final week of release, we see this is the last 7 days of sales. So how this works, just so everyone knows, is it takes the last updated date of the spreadsheet, rolls back 1 day, because, hey, if I updated it today, I probably don't have all the sales from today. So it takes everything from 10/5 to 7 days into the past, and it says, how is this product selling as a trend? Everything from each individual product to at the bottom right graph where you see the total number of boxes that are selling at any given moment. And then for those, again, not overpumping the channel membership, but if you are a channel member, I send you a link to this spreadsheet in a post, and then you can kind of take a look at some of these numbers, and you're free to use this data however you see fit. It's the link at the top of your chat, wherever that is. But what we have here is we see that 9/29. Now, 9/29, I think, was a bonus Bucks day on TCG Player. I believe that was a bonus Bucks day. I can't chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it might have been a bonus Bucks day, but it was the last Friday of the last month before student loans kicked back in. So it also could have just been a factor of, I'm just going to pay a bunch of money here for this. But we do see, after 9/29, a dip back down to what I would consider the norm. But this is not something you normally see with Magic products. Magic products are slow and steady wins the race. They just kind of cruise along at a certain altitude, and then they land after release, and we go on to the next thing. This is an exception. We see the Commander decks climbing in popularity over the last 7 days, up to a peak since the 29th on the 5th, just yesterday. Just yesterday. It is a wild scenario that we don't normally see, and I wonder if these trends, if these trends that we're looking at right here, these ones right over here, you see them, you know, if these trends continue, we are going to be in for a weird scenario where this product might be lightly printed and highly coveted. And the last time that happened, a lightly printed, highly coveted product, it is remembered so fondly by our community that, like, I'm not willing to make the call yet. I want to see how the last week shakes out, but, like, are we looking at the next complete bundle? A product that remains affordable from the local game store, that is going to crush on the secondary market. Everyone's going to be happy that they bought one. Like, it's going to be one of those Magic products that just sits in our mind as an amazing experience. So there's an opportunity here. I think it's interesting to take a look at. But yeah, so I think some of this stuff is super interesting. And we have the total deck breakdowns, and it's funny. So how we're spending our money is the last thing I'll talk about before I jump into the chat with you guys and kind of just sum up everything we discussed here. How we're spending our money is so interesting because we look only 9%. 9.4% of every box that flows out of TCG Player is a collector box, but it's cost us 30% of every dollar that we've spent on the platform, right? So it's just the jump in price to the collector box and the fact that, hey, a small percentage of our community, the small percentage that are buying boxes, are willing to spend more money to get what they want, that collector product. It goes to show, like, hey, listen, we don't have to like it. We don't have to like it. But Wizards of the Coast might be onto something. They just might be. Like, they just might be. They just might be onto something. That's kind of my thoughts on the way Doctor Who is selling right now. Let's see what you guys have to say about Doctor Who. And I'll pose a general question, so you can share any thoughts you have about Doctor Who in the chat. But I gotta ask, even with it being Universes Beyond, do you think this is a Magic the Gathering product that will be remembered fondly by Magic players, not by new Doctor Who fans that might come into Magic the Gathering? I often pose Universes Beyond as being this window into Magic the Gathering, but this is the poll I'm going to pose to you guys, and I want to ask your opinion. Do you think it's going to be a product that's remembered fondly by Magic the Gathering players? So let's get that poll started, give you guys a chance to let me know your thoughts on Doctor Who in the chat, and then we will get to answering your question, because God, I have fun. I love these live streams in the morning, guys. It's a great way to start my Friday. All right, so here's the poll. We've got a little over 20 viewers in chat, so that means I need everyone engaging with this poll. I need over 20 votes in this poll. If you are on this, if you are at your desk, if you are at work, if you're driving, probably don't. Shout out to Dennis, big homie, driving to work. Don't be engaging with this poll. But everyone else, there's no reason. Let me know what you think. There's no shame in sharing your thoughts. It's one of the core tenets that we build this entire community on. It's one of the reasons we switched to Magic the Gathering. It's one of the reasons we talk about the things we do, because you can share your honest thoughts. You can just be honest about things and have a great conversation with members of a pretty cool community. Yoko is still laughing at their own mom joke. Ugh. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. It's complicated stuff. Greg, if you are a Whovian, Whovian's coined, right? Is Whovian coined? Was Whovian what I said the first time? No, I said Hooniverse. Is Whovian coined? Let me know. We're coining a Doctor Who phrase on this channel. We're doing it. That's happening. We are doing that. Captain, so the rest of the sets coming out this year are a no-go for me. Ooh, let's talk about the rest of the magical year. MTG Captain, I like it. That's a good topic. Let's talk about the rest of the MTG year. I am down to talk about that. MTG Squirrel, first of all, I don't know that I've seen your name in the chat before, so welcome to the live stream, MTG Squirrel. Thanks for showing up. Super glad to have you. MTG Squirrel says, wait until next summer. Everything goes on clearance at Amazon, 40% off. I haven't seen much on Amazon for very cheap recently. And again, like I said in my little mini rant before, I don't know if Wizards of the Coast wants to do that. I don't know if they want to do that. And it very well could. I'm not saying it won't happen. Because, listen, as soon as I say something won't happen, WotC is just like, hey, Hometown TCG, guess what? Now it's happening. Suck it, dude. I'm like, great. Thanks. I appreciate you. So just think how many Mana Crypt will get printed in 10 years. But, like, of course it will. It's the biggest trading card game in the known universe, and that's 10 years in the future. Like, of course they're going to print more Mana Crypts in the next 10 years. Yoko, I have my complete bundle data. The market value of my poll is still around 120, which is the current price of the bundles. It's still good. That's crazy. Yoko, that's amazing. First of all, it's amazing information to have. Second of all, it's that product. I'm doing a video. A little spoiler, I'll do a video at the end of the year of the best Magic products of the year, and I'll do the same thing for the worst Magic products, all about my opinion. And man, the complete bundle's got to be up there. But I'm going to be biased. Xander says, Wizards be whalin'. Sue says no. And I think that was the answer to my will Magic fans like Doctor Who. Sue says no. Mosh, welcome back, Mosh. What's going on? Won't be remembered, not iconic enough. 10 years, people won't remember this set releasing. Really? Okay. Now, This is a great conversation. You guys unknowingly are following me down my path, and I'm going to make you all disagree with me, I'm sure, but you're following me right down my path. Near End thinks no, but only because there's no limited format. I could see that. And like, I love, and that's what makes things like Dominaria. I don't have my Dominaria Remastered drafts on this shelf. I think they're on the other shelf. Dominaria Remastered and Time Story Remastered and things like that. That's part of what makes them so special. Yep, Hoovian is coined. 22 votes, not bad. Let's go. Can we get to 30? Can we get to 30 votes? We got 30 viewers, 30 votes. Let's go. Ralph says Hoovian's been around for ages. No, Ralph. Why you gotta break my dreams, dude? What's crackin' collectibles? Hoovian. Everyone tell me Hoovian's the thing. Let's go. Zendez, I am doing my best to make my mark on the internet. We will do it right here. Listen, if all of us put our brains together, we're gonna come up with something. There's Prime Day on the 10th and 11th. Prime Days. Oh, Prime Day is going to be crazy. What's cracking? I think we'll remember certain cards, but we know Watsky will reskin the cards eventually. An MTG squirrel, in my humble opinion, because collectors of MTG want nostalgic cards, images of the original to the game. These Doctor Who only gain temporary value in the moment with no future value. Listen, that could be it. But you guys have unknowingly, unbeknownst, and this wasn't a web that I set up. I didn't plan to do this, but you've fallen into my web. You have fallen into my trap. Because a couple of comments have talked about in the Doctor Who popularity discussion, is this going to be popular in 10 years? And talked about reasons why they don't think so. And I think from the chats, that is the overwhelming consensus. Now, in about a minute, I'm going to close the vote, and we will see kind of where the vote stands, where maybe the vocal versus the non-vocal portion of the chat sits. But it's funny, because I have posed to the entire YouTube community very publicly, and I have exposed myself and the amount of money, of my own personal money, that I am spending on a given Magic the Gathering collection. And my reasoning for spending that money on that collection is exactly what you guys are saying. It's exactly why you're saying Doctor Who won't be popular. I'm spending my money on Brothers War serialized cards. And the reason is, not only do they evoke certain emotions with the old school Magic look, they bring us into the new school era of Magic the Gathering with the new serialized card era. They are also limited and collectible because, listen, they have a number on them. And it's the first run of them ever. It's the first. So all of the reasons you guys are talking about Doctor Who kind of not being something we'll look fond on, that's why I think in the moment, Brothers War serialized artifacts are just kind of meh. You guys have talked about the long run. What about 5 years from now? What about 6 years from now? Do you think if Magic continues serialized cards, that the first serialized card run that could be publicly gotten, I know there was the Viscera Seer that came out in a secret layer beforehand, but it really starts for me when you can publicly pull it out of a box. What do you think's going to happen? I truly believe that we're going to be like, you know what? I'm in. I like that time in Magic the Gathering. I'm going back and picking me up some of that. And bonus points because that does seem to be the era that has kicked us out of the dark ages of some Magic the Gathering stuff, right? So I didn't mean to set the web. I didn't intentionally set the trap, but I think I might have got some of you on board. Let's check it out. So if you haven't engaged with the poll, you got 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. I'm not going to count down from 30. I'm going to instead take a break and say cheers to each and every one of you. 37 people here checking out Magic the Gathering content every Friday morning. If you guys don't know, we do this every Friday starting at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we do this because, listen, there is no better way to kick off your weekend than hanging out with some fun people, chatting about something we all love, and kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of some of the information and the data. So if you haven't checked on the poll yet, make sure you check on that poll. If you haven't yet, consider clicking the link that's pinned in your chat to join the channel membership. It's $5 a month. It helps support the channel. You get bonus content when I remember not to post it live. Yes, I know I posted the last one. Everyone, listen, I did my best. I hurt myself because when you post back-to-back videos on YouTube, you crush your own algorithm. Like, you crush yourself because it pumps your video and then it pumps the next one and then it's like, is this person just spamming? Pulls it back. So it did not go well for me either, in my defense. So let's take a look at the result of the poll. Yes. Oh yeah, listen, I make no bones about it that I will shill my own channel membership because I'm trying to provide value. I have no problem with that. I listen, yes, I am promoting myself. Yes, I'm not selling something for someone else. I'm selling myself. That is 100% happening. I make no bones about it. Like, listen, that second stream setup is not going to come free. Like, it's got to get built, and it's not cheap. So let's take a look at that poll. Wow, this one's pretty split. 27 votes. You guys crushed the vote on this. Would it be safe to say, has the phrase rocked the vote, has that been coined? Can we say that they rocked the vote? I'm kidding. You guys are right down the middle here. I was in a time lock for a second. Ooh. Was I stuck in a cute face? Was that? I think that the fact that you guys are right down in the middle shows like this product's got a lot of legs. People feel certain ways about this product. Most of the time, if you don't care about a product, that vote doesn't really get off. People aren't willing to engage with the poll and chat. Like, most people were willing to go in there and share their feelings on this, which means it's going to evoke some kind of emotion, whether positive or negative, for most of our community. Listen, I'm pretty high on Doctor Who. I think it's pretty great. I think it's pretty great. Let's take a look. Let's go. You know what? I want to go back to TCG Player. I'm going to kind of catch up with your guys' chats here for a second. I don't know. I had to like mentally. Someone talked about me buffering. I had to like mentally reset right there. So I'm going to catch up with your guys' chats. Let's take a look at some other TCG player pricing. Be really quick. I want to check out Lord of the Rings. I want to check out Commander Masters. I want to check out Wilds of Eldraine. Talk about some of that pricing. I got some. If you're here from OG or you are aware of the game Flesh and Blood, we have Bright Lights sales data. We'll spend probably 5 to 6 minutes on that. It won't be long, but there's some interesting stuff and some fun stuff to talk about with that, and kind of how that's going and how that game is progressing or not progressing. That'll be fun to talk about. And then we will go into the closing section where we kind of maybe put on some tinfoil hats and pop over to the podcast. But let's check out some prices here for Commander Masters. And as we pop over here, I will say, oh, I got roasted for the flawless channel shield. Ornator, hello, Josh and Chet. Ornator, hello to you. Hello to you. Mosh, I am a War of the Sparks is the way to go for sealed long term, but serialized bro cards are good too. Like, listen, the serialized Brothers War cards just make me happy. Grasshopper telling me I was in time lock. Someone said someone kicked the TARDIS. Grasshopper had buffering. That's how we stream. I should do one of those virtual backgrounds for Doctor Who release and stream like from the TARDIS or from like a popular set in Doctor Who. I just try one box with every 10 blisters, 1 pre-release, 2 collector singles, future sales. Just see, MTG Squirrel, not a bad idea. Rob says, do you ever have a definitive winner in your polls? You always seem to be fairly even and split. Yes, some of the polls are overwhelming. Some of the polls are overwhelmingly crushing. Like, when we asked a lot of questions about Commander Masters, the set wasn't nearly as divisive. It was very one-sided. Aruna? Let me know if I'm saying that right. But first of all, I've never seen your name in chat before. Welcome right here to the stream, chat. If we could welcome any new viewer that you see. If you see a new name, feel free to welcome them into the chat. I'm surprised Jeweled Lotus is still $60 to $75. Listen, $67 for Jeweled Lotus. Like, this card's still holding a good value, but Ornator makes a good point. A lot of play groups, a lot of communities do rule zero this thing and just say, we prefer if you don't use it. And I don't think there's enough of that going on to really affect the sales of the card. It might just be like, hey, this product don't come cheap. There's no cheap way to get a Jeweled Lotus yet. It's all still, you get a set box, it's expensive. You get a draft box, it's expensive. Even collector boxes with only a couple packs, expensive. So that might have something to do with it. But let's take a look. Let's start with sealed product really quick. That's a lot of what we discuss here. This product, I want to update. I got to update the Commander Master sales data because one of the fascinating aspects of this product is that it's still selling. The Commander decks for Commander Masters, surprisingly, like spoiler, Commander Masters Commander decks were a popular product. Who could have possibly foreseen this? 10 brand new unique cards in each deck. Like, a lot of themes that a lot of Commander players will be happy to engage with. And as you can see, like, they're not selling in like record numbers, but this set at this point is pretty old. Like, as far as a Magic set is concerned, this is like, I feel like Magic sets age. Magic sets age like people did in like the old Westerns. Or like the medieval times. It's like, oh, you're 13, that's a ripe old age to be a grandpa. Like, You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're a town elder at 15. Like, I feel like Magic sets with the rapid release cycle age like that right now. I'm talking about Commander Masters like it's an old set. It was 2 sets ago out of the 10 we're getting this year. Like, it's not that old. But Magic sets generally fall off the cliff. They have them fall off the cliff after release because, like, we're forced to be on to the next thing. Now, we do say master sets, especially Commander Masters, something's going to live on the shelf really well. I could see, like, someone coming into the store and, like, every week you buy a set booster of Commander Masters. Why? Because you want to spend some money, you want to crack a pack, and, like, it's a pretty safe pack to crack. You can get something that you'll play in one of your decks in some way in this pack. So it's interesting to see this product still selling as well as it is. I did not see that coming. The coolest part of this is I felt like I made probably 4 or 5 videos all about, like, this product, this abomination, this bastardization of what should be an amazing Magic the Gathering experience. I'm no Rudy. I can't just be like, Project Booster Fun is awful. And I don't believe that because, like, listen, the set booster box is constantly one of the top selling products in almost every single set. We as a community, and I'm going to say this, I need you all to understand this. My belief is that we as a community love the set booster box. Whether we hardcore Magic people or anyone who's willing to engage with content like that demographic, whatever we are in this chat right now might feel our own way about the set booster box, the Magic community at large seems to love the set booster box. And to make a set booster box and to break one of the core tenets as to what makes the set booster box so cool, right? The ability to crack all those packs, have fun, sit down at your table, crack a beer, have a glass of wine, have a coffee, have a water, whatever it might be, and crack all those packs, but then to charge $390, $400, $450 for that was just atrocious. And the fact that this product has not only come down to earth, but done so in a major way, despite the potential EV of the product, makes me happy. This is not what this product is supposed to do. It is not supposed to be a high price, high ticket item. It is supposed to be for anyone who wants to engage with pack cracking on a given set. This was bad because of the price. Make no bones about it. It is, my belief is as simple as that. And to see it coming down to earth and kind of existing here, it makes me happy. It evokes an emotion within me that I cannot explain to you all how happy it makes me. This product being the affordable entry point into Commander Masters is something I did not see. And, like, listen, still selling. Even better than the Commander decks. Like, if you got your Commander decks you wanted to play, you've already got it. But, like, the Seuss, again, if the price is fine for you, it's a fine product. But my problem with it was the price. It was all about the price. Let's check out Lord of the Rings next. And this one has a lot of potential for volatility, in my opinion, because of this product. Now, this product, of course, MVP Sports and Games, top sale, like, that doesn't surprise me at all. This product sitting around $320. I would have guessed this thing. Yoko, that's hilarious. I would have guessed that this thing was going to be either $400 up next, butting up next to the other collector box, or like $200. It hovering in the middle here, like, yes, I know that would be well below a store's cost basis. I understand that, but it just kind of hovering in the middle here is pretty funny to me. And I don't know, man. The bonus buck sale, obviously, like on the 29th, there was a good number of sales, but other than that, I know we're still a month out, but I'm not seeing it move in a meaningful way. So I don't know. Man. What do you guys think? Lord of the Rings Collector Booster Box? What do you think? I don't know. We got Jumpstart Volume 2. It's only got 9 listings so far, but again, it's super early pre-sale. Hold on. The one I came here to check. Again, I had to mentally reset. Here we are, sitting around $400 a box still. And I love my buddy. I love my Louis over at Kitchen Table TCG has become one of my close friends in life. For outside behind the computer, outside of the YouTube platform, this is a dude that has just become a good friend of mine. And he was so wrong about this product that it makes me smile. God, you know how you love to see your friends succeed, but then you also love to be right around your friends? God, this product being $400. People who wanted this thing to tank. People who said once the One Ring is pulled, this product is going to go down in value. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It's got a serialized version of the most popular card in Magic the Gathering. How do you not think this box is just going to be great? Like, I love this product. All right, let's pop over. Let's end the stream today. Let's talk about some indie TCG stuff. I will make the announcement right here. I will be tracking TCG player sorcery sales. So I'll be tracking the Sorcery Contested Realms TCG on TCG Player. It's going to be on the platform. I will be tracking sales of the sealed product. I'm super excited for that product. For that project. For those who don't know, I started the YouTube channel in the indie TCG world. I like indie TCGs. I do. I have gained a healthy perspective for what indie TCGs are, can, and should be. And because of that, I've been super excited about Sorcery. You guys can see I still have the Shark Tank up over here, this corner of the shelf dedicated to the Shark Tank, and I will be tracking that information, mostly because, like, listen, I think it's super interesting because it tells more about some of these smaller and ravenous communities. And in that same bag, in that same vein, David Bag, let's go. I saw David Bag pop up in chat, and I said in that same bag, that was awesome. You have mental powers. That was amazing. In that same vein, I have historically tracked sales data for Flesh and Blood sets. So for those who don't know and who aren't here, I think this is an interesting conversation about TCGs as a whole. So there's no reason to necessarily not listen in, but it is going to be centered around another TCG in comparison to Magic the Gathering and things like that. And I have a lot of data for the Flesh and Blood TCG when it comes to how the sets sold originally. So I'm going to pull up some of that right now, and we're going to talk pre-sales. And the last thing I need to find one more. Where's the Dynasty? Where's the Dynasty sales data? Guys, you got me looking through all of my sales data here. It's crazy. Here we go. Okay. So let's pop over and let's take a look at the spreadsheet. Sorry, again, mental blockage there, but let's check out some of these spreadsheets and some of the sales data. Let's see, I'm going to have to make this bigger because this is the Flesh and Blood spreadsheet is one of the older variations of the spreadsheet, so it works a little bit differently. So here we have Bright Lights. Now this is the Bright Lights release that officially released as of this morning. As of I don't know, midnight officially in the United States or whatever the time is, this set is out. And this is every single sold listing of sealed products when it comes to a booster box on TCG Player. Now we look and we see that there's been a total spend of $22,000 with a total of 258 boxes sold, with 34 boxes sold as single boxes and 124 boxes sold as cases. So there's a lot of interesting things to discuss here, but it's important to note, and I want to get this out of the way before we go into the sorcery sales data. We start tracking that because, again, these indie TCGs, community voices can be important, and this is going to be important with this sorcery discussion. It's important to note that, like, we need to understand the scale of what we're talking about, and that is not a negative statement. That is not bashing something. That is not hating on anything. That is telling something for what it is by the numbers. That is all we're doing here, and that's all we aim to do with any information that we track ever. This product is not a successful product compared to some of the other products. But that is something we have to come to expect with some of these communities. And that's okay. When we compare Bright Lights here to Outsiders, one of the other sets that sold a much higher number of boxes. And again, indie TCGs follow a very similar pattern where post-release sales slow drastically. Dusk Till Dawn, which was wildly successful, which has a little bit more information. And then even way back to one of the first projects I ever did was tracking Dynasty sales. We have seen a massive downtick. And this is something that's important to note, like indie TCGs, and what I think is really fun following Sorcery, as Sorcery looks to break the mold of how we engage with trading card games, right? They looking to do it's not actually one set a year. I call it one set a year because it's a longer release cycle. Like a set releases and we get longer before we get the next set. It's important to remember, like, hey, as people try to break the mold, things are going to work and things are not going to work. And it's okay in an indie TCG to look at something like this and see a product that doesn't work. These games, however, have something Wizards of the Coast doesn't have. They have the ability to pivot, the ability to do something else, to change very rapidly. And because of this, I would expect as we dig into Sorcery data when it becomes available, that we will see things that, when compared to Magic the Gathering, won't compare fondly. Because listen, it shouldn't. No indie TCG should when compared to Magic the Gathering. That is not fair. That is not how the world works, and that is not how the world should work. But as we get more and more Sorcery data, we compare month to month and set to set and release to release, I think that's where we find something interesting. It'll be interesting to see how games like Flesh and Blood after something like Bright Lights, or how when Sorcery releases and as they get a couple products going, how they continue to pivot and move and speak to their community, because that's something that frankly we don't get in Magic the Gathering. It's something when Magic wants to pivot and make a move and do something different. It takes time. Like, listen, at Gen Con, we got like the next 2 years of Magic laid out. And I know that there's card specifics and the shape of those boxes can change and the product lines can change, but there's a certain amount of planning that's already taken place and been announced and just won't change, right? It's a big battleship. It's hard to move. These indie TCGs are able to pivot very rapidly. So I am really excited for the Sorcery stuff. I don't want to use it as a comparison to other TCGs. I want to use it as a comparison to be like, hey, how does the model work online on one platform? Online on one platform, completely independent of all the other variables, right? So not the best example of that, but how does it compare to itself? How does it work in the model over time? I'm super interested about that. I can't wait. So I'm really excited to see how that shapes out. And again, I want to stress, because we're going to be talking about indie TCG sales data on this channel, and some of the numbers can be jarring. It's only TCG Player, right? We're not looking to compare it to Magic the Gathering, because like a game that's been around for 5 years, their recent release just sold 150x less than a Magic the Gathering, really, like a major Magic release. So like not a comparison, not fair to compare. So I want to prep everyone for that, because it's something I want to be excited about. I want to be positive about, and I really want to go into. I don't want the community to take a turn and see those numbers next to each other and freak out. So I don't want anyone to freak out. Let's just put it that way. So I love what Sorcerer brings to the table. I'm excited to track it. I hope you guys are excited to see the data. I cannot wait to get into some of that. Let's wrap up kind of chatting with you guys, and let's pull up let's do it. Let's pull up the pod. We've gone a little late today. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top. And now I'm demonetized. Great. This has been awesome. You guys are the best. Can I tell you that I rarely have this much fun? I try to do as many live streams as I can. Yoko, I know that the line is 7 o'clock, but it is 9 o'clock. I'm aware of that. Don't you come after me. Don't you come after me, boo-boo. Don't you come after me, boo-boo. What we're going to do here is we're going to check out the introduction to the May the Zoo Be With You podcast. For those who don't know, I am on a podcast every Friday morning. Every single Friday morning, like the sun. This thing cannot stop, can't stop, won't stop, don't stop. We go live. Oh, we don't go live. We record, and the video goes live every Friday morning. And this is so much fun. So for those who don't know, you can find this podcast over at Kitchen Table TCG, a buddy of mine's YouTube channel. And I say that like he needs the clout from me. He's a much bigger YouTube content creator than I am. But like listen, I feel like I'm contributing. I do what I can to pump my buddy up. And he is a super fun content creator. If you haven't subscribed to him yet, make sure you do. I'm going to change the scale, and we will kick off kind of listening to the introduction of this podcast All right. Let's get the desktop audio going. Let's go. By the way, can somebody please clip you looking into the camera saying they haven't reprinted the reserve list, they won't reprint the reserve list, with Darth Vader's glowing head of Wizards of the Coast, evil, just right behind you looming saying, oh. This is, he made, it's pretty quiet. All right.
Are you ready?
I don't know, man. This is gonna be either the best or worst podcast we've ever done.
Based on the t-shirt I'm wearing, we're gonna start this podcast in 2 weeks. Next time on May the Zoo be with you. Welcome back to the most interesting Magic the Gathering podcast on the entire internet. May the Zoo be with you. You guys know me. My name is Josh.
So we are missing our third member this week. We're missing our third member this week, but here in the chat you will find a link to this podcast. If you go over there, I ask only this. If you go over to this podcast,
the best Magic together,
I ask only this. I'm going to put in the comment section right here. Whoa. I'm going to put this comment. I want at least 5 people, like this comment. Go to the comment section, like this comment. That's all I'm asking. 5 of you. Go to the comment section, find that comment, like that comment, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out today. This has been an absolute blast. I hope you guys have a good one. Let me get some goodbyes in the chat. I hope you have a great weekend. This is going to be a fun weekend. If you're going out to your game store, doing anything like that, I hope you have a blast. Have a lot of fun doing it what you did. Yoko just called me Jusher, and that might be my favorite thing I've seen in quite some time. Ralph, always a pleasure to have you around. Rust, what's cracking? Jusher, I love that. Let's go. Zendez, I'm also looking forward to Final Fantasy Universes Beyond. This is like, listen, we have so much to look forward to. Thank you all so much. Oh, you know, Buy Hometown, I think we talked to Wall Street Fab Discord a year ago. Oh, thank you. And listen, hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Good day, good night. Oh, Tawikja. That's the first time I've seen that name in the chat. Welcome to the stream. You guys have a good, if I say goodbyes, you know me. I'm long-winded with my goodbyes. I'm a Midwesterner. I'll say goodbye. I'll hug you like 6 times before I leave. So I gotta cut the cord. I gotta do it. I love you guys all. Thank you so much. Have a great Friday. We'll see you soon. Bye.